Welcome to the Reconnection Club podcast, the show that helps parents heal troubled relationships with their adult sons and daughters. I'm your host, psychotherapist Tina Gilbertson. Each week, I'll offer you compassion, clarity, and personal development tips designed to help you reconnect, not only with your child, but with yourself. Now let's get started. The U.S. celebrated its Independence Day a couple of days ago, and it got me thinking about the importance of independence for parents who are estranged from one or more of their adult children. So the first thing I did was go online and look up the definition of the word independent. I found 7 different but related definitions, and I want to begin today by sharing those with you in the interest of really delving into this concept in a way that's meaningful to people in your position. As I read these definitions of independence, I'd like you to think about what cultivating your own independence could mean to you as someone who is currently suffering an unwanted separation from someone you love. The first definition of independence is not influenced or controlled by others in matters of opinion, conduct, etc. Number 2, not subject to another's authority or jurisdiction, autonomous, free. Number 3, not influenced by the thought or action of others. Number 4, not dependent, not depending or contingent upon someone or something else for existence, operation, etc. Number 5, not relying on another or others for aid or support. Number 6, rejecting others' aid or support, refusing to be under obligation to others. And lastly, number 7, possessing a competency, for example, to be financially independent. Those are all definitions of independence, and different people will feel differently as they consider those. To some people, it might feel daunting or lonely even to think about being that independent. To others, it might feel empowering to take back their autonomy in the face of someone else's rejection. But it seems to me that parents can enjoy at least some aspects of independence even while their hearts remain open to their estranged adult child or children. Even if your child has moved away from you in the service of her own independence, that doesn't change the fact that, as an adult, you need and deserve autonomy as well. The right to think and act for yourself. The right to an existence that's not depending or contingent upon someone else doing something that you want them to do. No one is an island, of course, but some of us could benefit from being a little more islandish. When it comes right down to it, if you're living in most of the countries in the world in which you have access to the podcast you're listening to, you're a free agent. You are an autonomous individual, and you get to make your own choices. That doesn't mean that we always embrace our own freedom. Think about some areas of your life where you could take the wheel more often than you do, but you choose not to. Do you let others decide where you eat, shop, hike, or take vacations, for example? Even outside of a work setting, does someone else determine when you do these things? Is your type and level of exercise what you'd like it to be? Or is it someone else's idea of what's right for you? Do you defer to other people's desires or opinions more often than necessary? Claiming your rights as an independent individual isn't always easy. In fact, it's often easier to depend on someone else to make decisions or to take the actions that need to be taken to improve the situation. Independence is a double-edged sword. It's as much responsibility as it is freedom. But responsibility is the price of freedom. It's the price we pay for being adults and enjoying the benefits of adulthood. Responsibility is the price of living our lives, independent of what others may be doing with theirs. If you're feeling in the mood for a little more autonomy and a little less dependence, here are a few suggestions for the many ways that you could practice celebrating your independence this month. Number 1, unless you're observing a dress code, wear whatever you want. Decide on what's more important to you, comfort or style. Everyone gets to decide for herself what the priority is. For me, it's comfort. Number 2, stop reading books or watching movies that you're not really that interested in. Don't force yourself to finish something you're not enjoying. Feel free to enjoy something that no one else seems to like quite as much as you do. Number 3, take yourself out to dinner or make exactly what you want for dinner, even if it's an ice cream sundae. Number 4, sign up for a class or activity that attracts you, even if no one you know wants to do it with you. Number 5, practice polite disagreement. Say, I can understand where you're coming from, but I don't feel the same way about it. This may not be something that you want to practice with an estranged adult child because disagreeing with their point of view gets you exactly nowhere towards reconnection. But do try it in other contexts just to see how it feels to assert your right as an independent thinker. And my last suggestion is, if you have a sense of adventure, plan to travel alone to some place that interests you. And when you're there, take a class if you can so you can meet other people while you're on the road. We already talked about how many different aspects there are to independence when I went through those 7 different definitions. When it comes to being unwillingly estranged, cultivating independence means that you refuse to place your happiness in someone else's hands. Estrangement will always be painful, that's normal. But ask yourself, am I refusing to be happy, productive, or peaceful until this particular problem is solved? If so, you're placing your own well-being in the hands of someone else. No one but you should be trusted with something so important. Practicing more independence won't make you invincible or impervious to pain. It certainly won't turn you into an island. But it will allow you to give yourself what you know you need. Whether that's time alone or more time with others who love and appreciate you, or something else that's life-affirming, that's been whispering to you for a while but that you've put on hold. Embracing independence can give you parts of your life and yourself back that you may have given up unnecessarily. Until next time, remember that you are a loving, lovable, and still growing human being. So please take good care of yourself. Bye for now. If you've enjoyed this episode of the Reconnection Club podcast, I invite you to check out ReconnectionClub.com. The Reconnection Club is for parents at any stage of estrangement from their adult, child, or children. So whether you've just realized there's trouble between you, you've been living with estrangement for years, or you're newly reconciled but still walking on eggshells, the Reconnection Club is your essential resource for information, support, and continued personal growth. With our courses and workshops, expert interviews, monthly Q&A calls, and a friendly, active community, the Reconnection Club is a wonderful place to be for anyone suffering the pain of estrangement from an adult, child, or children. So check it out at ReconnectionClub.com.